Alright everyone, so I'm making this video on this here unit. SGX 2000, everybody wants to hate because they don't know how to use it. This is probably the first instructional video on this unit on YouTube because I've never come across one, at least a basic instructional one. So I'm going to show you how to use it and how to make your own effects. I don't know everything, but I know how to do what I want with it, which is enough for me. So let's get to it. Alright, so the encoder. What is the encoder? All it is like your basic selection switch, okay? Look, you turn it, this thing has a million presets. All this does is your selector switch. Alright? We got your list of effects. Everything that's lit up is what is in your effects chain that you have created or are using. For example, this is my bypass. Alright, noise gate, a patch bay, and compressor. I only have the compressor all the way up, so it literally bypasses everything. Ignore my other two units. Alright, so let's say I went to a preset that I created. Alright, I have flanger, delay, a couple other things. So the built-in distortion or overdrive I'm not using. The reverb I'm not using. The pitch shifter I'm not using. But the flanger I am, the delay I am, and everything else. That's why it's lit up. Okay? All these knobs, it's just another EQ. Alright? Stereo output, left and right balance, tube, drive contour. It brings a little bit more ting to the tube if you are using the tube or distortion built in there. Alright? Now let's look at the buttons. Alright, this is the intimidating part. Alright, preset. This just means what mode you're in. If I hit preset mode, I get to choose any of the 400 presets that mine has. There's a lot of them, okay? You're gonna like something in there. Alright, let's just put it that way. Put it back to 1 just for my own. Alright, the mix button. How do I want it mixed? Do I want to hear the dry signal? Do I want to hear the digital effects more? Or do I want to hear the analog effects more? Okay, that's all this is. If you want to select different ones, you just hit mix again. Now I'll select the digital, and I use my encoder to bring it up or down. Same thing with analog effects. Okay, same thing with dry. That's it. Starting back on preset mode. All right, parameter. Parameter is what you're choosing. Alright, let's say I want to start and make a brand new effects chain just on my own, okay? So I'm going to go to one that's not used in the memory bank. So they usually start around right here. Let's just say 130. Alright, channel 130, it's all blank. There's nothing on there. I want to start, alright? What I'm going to do is go to edit mode. I'm editing something, right? Edit mode, and you're going to go to parameter. What does parameter do? All right, it lets me start putting in stuff into the effects chain. So I want to add an effect. Now it's asking me, what do you want to add? A patch bay, a compressor, expander, distortion, hard exciter, envelope, noise gate, an equalizer, an acoustic simulator, contour, all this stuff, flanger, chorus, pitch shifter, panner, tremolo, MIDI pan, reverbs, everything that delays, everything that this thing comes with. All right, just for easy sake, all right, I want to add distortion. So I'm gonna come over here and hit enter. Now I've added distortion. Now, let's say I want to tweak the distortion, okay? This is what the value button does. Now, what we're gonna do, we're on parameter. Now I want to tweak the distortion. So I have different types of distortion. Turbo tubes, all right? This, that, and the other. So I'm gonna click value, all right? Psycho, now I'm changing it. This is the different types of distortion they have. This one's called psycho tubes. This one's called overdrive, jazz, solid, super, solid state. That's what their version of solid state is. All these different kinds of distortion or overdrive, or you just turn it off. All right, I like overdrive. So I've selected overdrive. Now I'm going to go back to parameter. Now this kind of takes me back out. Now I want to control the drive, or how much byte it has, or how much output, or which is essentially like volume. All right, that's all what I can change on the distortion. So if I want to change all this, all I do is click value again, and now I can change it. I don't have my guitar plugged in, so you're not going to hear anything. All right, now, all right, I want the drive on 65%, but now I want to change the byte. Well, I click parameter again. I change the selection. Go click value again. Now I change the value. All parameter and value does is think of it like on an effects pedal, if you want to, or like an amp. Parameter, value. That's it. It's just a different name. And that goes the same for every other effect. If I want to add another effect, I want to click add another effect over here. All right. Now let's say I want to add a flanger, just because I like flangers. I'll hit enter. Well, look, now it added the flanger to the chain. Okay, distortion plus flanger. Now same thing. Now I want to edit the flanger and how I want it to sound and the frequency and all that. So I go through what I can change for the distortion. Now I'm arrived at the flanger. Okay, well, I don't want to change that. I just want to change the speed of the flanger, okay? I'm here on the speed. I click value. Now I change the speed I want. Let's just pretend, all right. Now I'm gonna go back to click parameter. Now let's pretend I'm done with everything. I created my preset and I wanna save it. All you gotta do is hit store. Store, store, store. It's on store. Now this is stored on channel 130, okay? Now I'm gonna go back to preset. Now I can select the different presets all throughout the memory that this thing has, all right? Now to test that, I save that on preset 130. I'm on 77. I'm gonna go to 130. There it is, distortion and flanger. Everything else, guys, is very self-explanatory. You can change the title, or if you want to name it, or give it some kind of cool name, 80s turbo or whatever you want to call it. Enter, store. This is the basics of this unit. It is not hard. It did not take me a long time to figure out what I was doing with it. It's an amazing unit, and it just takes a little time to mess with. I can't speak for all the other applied research technology other rack units because I don't have them, but I know there's a few people on here that have more than one. And I can probably guarantee you they are all operated the same way. And it's not intimidated. You just gotta realize that parameter is what you want to change, and value is how you change it. Okay? If you just think of it like that, and don't forget to hit store and save it, or you might forget and then forget to save it, and you're like, oh, what did I just do? That's it, and it's pretty simple. All right, I'm running out of space on my phone. So, yes, look, guys, this thing is very easy. This is just the very basics of it. There's way more to it. I don't know everything, but I can do what I want with it. And that's the basics. I've never seen a lot of instructional videos on this particular unit on YouTube whatsoever, so maybe this is the first one. If you guys have any questions about it, or I wasn't clear on anything, just go ahead and shoot me a message or whatever. Take it easy.